Hello and good day to everyone. Today I am presenting to you our research titled Factors Affecting the Decrease of Crime Rate in Baguio City During the Pandemic. So the authors of the research are the following: Abilao, Abnasan, Aganon, Aligan, Anaas, Andaya, Bagangan, and Ventura. Moving on, moving on to the introduction. The spread of the COVID-19 virus has brought us into many changes in our life wherein it impacts the normal way of living of many people around the world. COVID-19 pandemic is unquestionably one of the most significant worldwide events in the recent history, impacting culture, government operations, crime, economics, politics, and social interactions. So let us proceed to the theoretical and conceptual framework that lends support to this study. So this section discusses the logical and systematic presentation of theories and concepts that lend support to the topic at hand. The following are the theories were used to further understand the factors which affect the crime rates during the pandemic. So first is the defensive space theory, and next is the broken windows theory. Then lastly, routine activity theory. And so in our conceptual framework, we adapted the format of IPO: input, process, and the output. So next, statement of the problem of the study. So number one, SOP. To what extent does the crime rate of Baguio City before and during the pandemic differ from each other? And SOP2, what are the factors contributing to the crime rate in Baguio City, to the decrease of crime rate in Baguio City during the pandemic? So I will not discuss the ethical considerations, and let us proceed to the materials and methods used in this study. So researchers utilized quantitative descriptive research method in order to satisfy the objective of the study. Specifically, the researchers used document analysis and interviews in addressing the research problem of the study. And the population and the local of the study. The data used for the document analysis in this study were obtained from the Baguio City Police Office or BCPO through a communication letter requesting the needed data of crime statistics of Baguio City. Then, for the interview, the population is consisted of the police officers in Baguio City, for they have the knowledge and experience with regards to the incidents of crime that is being recorded in Baguio City before the pandemic had begun and throughout the course and duration of the COVID-19 pandemic as the main basis of selection. So next, let us proceed to the data gathering tool. Interview. Interview interview was utilized in order to answer the in order in order to answer SOP number 2, and document and secondary data analysis. Secondary data analysis refers to the analysis of existing data collected by others. So basically, the data is, that is collected is that was being collected from the BCPO is a secondary data, and secondary data analysis affords researchers the opportunity to investigate research questions using large-scale data sets that are often inclusive of underrepresented groups while saving time and resources. And next, let us proceed to the data gathering procedure. So as discussed earlier, the data from the BCPO was requested through communication letter requesting the record of the said crime statistics of Baguio City. And for the interview, in order to reach out the participants for the interview of the study, the researchers use social media platforms in order to communicate to the participant of the study. And attached with the interview guide included the consent form and the communication letter, and as well as the purpose of the study, the confidentiality and the rights of the participants regarding the collected data was explained. And next, let us proceed to the treatment of data. So after the conduct of interview, the the, the, the responses of the participants are analyzed using thematic analysis, and teams are formulated from the responses of our participants. And for the document analysis, the computation for crime rate are the following. So this is the computation for the crime rate of the crime rate that we used in order to compute the crime rate of Baguio City. So this is the example of the computation. The next are the results and the discussions. So in table 1, this is the crime rate of Baguio City from the year 2016 to 2021. So as we can see in this part, there is a significant decrease per year that was being recorded. Then next, so in order to further illustrate the findings, so this is the crime trend for the calendar years 2016 and 2021 to 2021. So as you can see, 2016 has the highest most recorded crimes in Baguio City. Then it suddenly decreased by the year 2017 and to 2018 to 2000, but but in the year 2018 it gradually increases, and now we are experiencing a gradual decrease of crime rate during this pandemic. And then next, so this is the crime volume of Baguio City per crime category, and as we can see, index crime is the most highest volume per crime category. It outnumbered all other crime category such as the non-index crime, special laws, ordinances, child abuse, and violations against women and their children. So in order to support and validate these findings, these are the factors contributing to the decrease of crime rate in Baguio City during the pandemic. So basically, these are the themes that are formulated from the thematic analysis of the interview. So first is the regulation and limitation of activities. And then next, the enhance police community relation, police visibility, movement, and then lastly, movement and travel restrictions. Next is the conclusions and recommendation. These initial findings indicate that crime rate of Baguio City have indeed decreased upon the emergence of COVID-19 pandemic. The researchers argue that the principal reason for the decrease of crime rates is when the government orders stay at home to non-essential workers and the implementation of health protocols and movement restrictions which impacted the routine activities of entire populations. Therefore, even the implementation of community quarantines, curfews, lockdowns, police visibility, liquor bans, travel and movement restrictions, and other health protocols arising from the effects of COVID-19 pandemic can deter criminals from further committing crimes, fearing that they might expose themselves or by getting arrested due to the strict implementation of protocols needed in order to combat COVID-19 virus. As a result, crime rate decreases, and the only question is how can we maintain this low crime rate even after the pandemic ends. And next is the recommendations. So this study may help the PNP, LGU in order to formulate effective policing mechanisms and crime prevention measures. More so, the PNP shall maintain and sustain to implement such factors contributing in the decrease of crime rate, crime incident, crime volume as a regular policing mechanisms, and crime prevention measures even after the pandemic ends. So the following factors shall the PNP maintain and sustain to implement. First is curfew hours. police visibility, enhance police community and enhance community police relation. Then lastly, for the encouragement of future researchers to dive deeply into the data made available from the pandemic and to provide the reason for not only discerning why crime rates have failed, but on how to pragmatically utilize this knowledge even after the world emerges from seclusion. So that is all the summary of our research, and thanks for listening and have a good day. Thank you.